want to apologize to any of you that were waiting for the 2:30. I'm in real estate and something came up on an appointment, so I wanted to make sure I could get this live out to everybody. So I guess I'm apologize to any of you that were waiting for the 2:30. I'm in real estate and something came up on an appointment, so I wanted to hold on. I could get this live out to everybody. So I guess I apologize to any of you that were waiting for the 2:30. I'm in real estate and something came up on an appointment, so I wanted to hold on. Let's technology blasting out on us. So I guess we're gonna take that away. Sorry about that. Beautiful technology. Hey, by the way, if you can not hear me, please let me know. Little housekeeping items. I have new technology today, so as you can see, the first one failed. It was repeating. So anyway, I have a lot of people that ask me about flipping homes, how to get in it, and so forth. And so I thought today it would be a good time to come over to a project that I purchased recently, and I'll cover some of the numbers with you and so forth as we go through this project. But anyway, if you've been following me or if you know me, I have bought a lot of older homes in the area, in this area and all over Denver, I should say. And a lot of them are estate deals. And this one is the estate deal, is an estate deal. I want to make sure I have my sound on here. So somebody let me know if they can't hear me because of the way that microphone started. But anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, I got this place as part of an estate deal. And as I usually go, when you're dealing with the families and such, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. And if there's more than one sibling involved, that's where the decisions are hard to make. You have people that either want to keep the house, you have people that want to flip the house, you have people that want to rent the house, and you have some that just want to sell the house right away. And anyway, that's what this was. This was an estate. I met with these people a while ago, and they decided that they should keep the house, fix it up, and resell it. Well, a few months went by, and I got a phone call, and basically they didn't want to mess with it anymore. Because if you know anything about estate deals and so forth, let me see if there's any. Everybody hear me out there? Yeah, I don't know if my sound's working. And there's a glare, so I apologize. Anyway, if you know about estate deals, the families are emotional and they make emotional decisions. So they decided to go and try to update this home from the 80s. And anyway, I got a call a few months later, and they didn't want to do it anymore because the expenses were mounting. And if you ever have dealt with an estate and so forth, you will know that the death does not wash out the debts. So I think that's what happened here. That's what happens in other homes that I have bought. So anyway, some of this house has been, it's been tore apart. There has been a few updates, and I have some of the materials that they basically kept with the deal. But anyway, one good thing about this area and a lot of areas, if you're buying older homes to flip, they're in established neighborhoods. They're on bigger lots. This house is on about 1/3 of an acre, which wherever you're from, you might be like, big deal. But anyway, you can see the established trees. You can see down the neighborhood, all these old school homes. They don't look all cookie cutter and so forth. And so that is why these are great homes to get, especially a home like this, where I'm going to show you where the bones are good. It hasn't been updated since the 80s. There was a lot of cool features about this home, but like I said, they have torn some of them away. Let me see, what do we have for comments? Just told. I guess I can't read that. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so we're gonna cover this home that we bought. It's from the 80s. And anyway, it was bought from an estate sale. That's where a lot of my projects come from. I'm a licensed agent out here in the Denver area. I'm also an investor. I mainly got my license so I could do these, but people have called me to help them. And a lot of the things that I do are estate. So keep your eyes out on those. Anyway, the one thing I like to do, and I'm gonna coach you through if you're looking at flips, is curb appeal. I have learned my lesson so long ago that if the yard's crap, you're not gonna get any money back from it if you're flipping the home. And usually on average, I gotta put about 20 grand into a yard just to make it look good. And I get nothing back except obviously it helps the sale. This home fortunately has good curb appeal. The mature trees, it has stamped concrete here. Don't really care for the color of the house. Give me some comments about what color you think I ought to do on that. You know, all those flippers, they like to paint it alabaster and black. So I don't know, the paint was just done, so we might just leave it. But anyway, when I go to a house to look at it, I look at the landscaping for one, just to know right away if I have to do anything. And I like to look and see if the downspouts and such are attached. Because out here in Colorado, and give me some comments where you're from, the water gets along the foundation, and out here it expands. We have bentonite, clay soils, and it's just horrible. I'm originally from Nebraska where the soils were rich, and you come out here and you dig to put a plant or a tree in, and you're in for a rude awakening on that. So there's no good soils. But anyway, look at the downspouts. That'll tell you a lot if you need to worry about the foundation. And we'll cover that once we get inside the property. So anyway, I'm here in a neighborhood out here where the prices are anywhere from $1 million to $1.2 million. And I know a lot of you might be took a big gulp there, and that's what the area is. Looks like Rashad here get me some internet, but he'll have to do that for the. Anyway, so we're inside. It's a little echoey. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me here. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Anyway, it's gonna be a little echoey because I had my microphone, but that didn't want to work. So this project, again, the people, I think they ran out of money and they just didn't want to do it anymore. So the house is tore up, everything is out of it. So you don't get to see a lot of the cool original features that were in here, but a lot of them, if you look at these doors, I mean, I'm an old school guy, so anytime I see these things, I mean, there's not a scratch on these doors. Look how nice those are. I wish, you guys help me out. Should we paint those doors or leave them? They are just 6-panel real wood doors, and these are fresh out of 1980. They look like it, but boy, it's hard to touch those. Another thing this house has are wood windows. And out here in Colorado, it is so dry. I hate wood windows. When I'm helping clients look at houses, I always warn them. I'm like, you gotta take care of these windows because they'll crack, and you gotta just constantly take care of them. These windows are perfect, and they're the old original windows, and yes, at least I don't have to replace the windows. Any of you that have done a project, you'll know what windows can cost. And when you're flipping a house, even if you're moving into a house, You don't need Anderson windows or, gosh dang, I hear people pay $40,000, $50,000 for windows, and that just, I hate hearing that because you don't need to do that, and that's for another topic. In this house, you can see the wide open foyer that it has, and this home was built in the early 80s. So the staircase was cool, had the old school rails on it. They took them out, obviously. Looks like they were gonna tile this. I call this the drunk step, if you can see this thing right here. There's it's a raised entryway, and I hate those things. I don't know how many times I've about tripped on those, and I know about them. Give me some comments if you have houses in your area that have what we call the drunk step. But I'm thinking about taking that out. I've done it in other projects. It looks like they were gonna tile that right there. There's some tile on the floor here. But anyway, I'm gonna run a carpet in the center of the stairs. And I'm gonna put my wood treads on the end and do one of those cool railings that we do nowadays. Just because this is in the entry and everybody's gonna see it. Yeah, I think it's just gonna pop. I don't know, give me some comments if you think that's a bad idea, putting carpet up the center and running wood treads. People make comments when I'm showing homes, how slick these staircases can be. So I figured with the connections I have and everything, the wood treads and the carpet and all that'll be the way I'm gonna go on that. Anyway, the good thing with this house too, it was built in the early 80s, as I've repeated 100 times. There weren't any popcorn ceilings. They're all taken out. All the textures up more modernized. It doesn't have that ugly stomp texture. And I apologize if I offend anybody if they have stomp texture in their house. In my house, I have stomp texture because I don't want to mess with it. It's an old house in a neighborhood, but this fortunately does not have any of that. No popcorn ceilings. So that helps too with this project because everybody wants the popcorn ceilings removed. And anyway, let's head into the kitchen. And as you can see, we have the cabinets mounted in here already. We did update the cabinets a little more than we usually do. And this home, like I said, in this area pushes over $1 million. And so you have to go with what the comps show. I'll be honest with you, I don't do homes on this upper end like this. I prefer the more average price homes out here, if there is such a thing anymore. Between the 600 and 700, if you can believe that's average out here. I mean, it's too bad. But anyway, so we had to go with what works in this neighborhood. And this was a galley kitchen. I'm in real estate. Sometimes I catch myself calling a gala kitchen. I don't know if anybody else does that. Maybe I'm the only one. But anyway, if you're not familiar with those, they're almost like a hallway. They're really narrow and long. And that's sort of how this house was. And you'll see that in a lot of older homes, and a lot of the projects that I do have a galley kitchen. Galley, not gal. Anyway, we took this wall out and pushed it back because there was room. And we added more cabinets over here because a lot of these older homes, they don't have good storage. And anyway, we thought we did a good addition here. And we also have cabinets over here. Took the soffit down. If you notice on older homes, you'll have soffits all over especially where the cabinets are at, you'll only be able to do 36-inch cabinets. We were able to do the 42 because we took the soffit out. Some of these soffits a lot of them are empty. They just did them like that. But keep in mind, when you're looking at an older home, you see the soffits, prepare for plumbing items to be in there. For upstairs, for instance, in a lot of the homes, they'll run the plumbing right here over the kitchen, and that's why they have a soffit here. And the same with over here along the outer wall. That soffit at times will house the plumbing. But today in the world of the PEX plumbing and all that, there's so much more you can do when you open this up, and it makes it easier. Fortunately for this house, we didn't have a lot of plumbing to move around. I think we had a little up there when we were doing this, but we opened up this kitchen. I think it flows pretty nice with what we had. And like I said, if this was my own project to start with before I bought it, I would have done a few things different, but we bought it after they had already done some things. But the island, we added an island here, and you want to be careful on, especially older homes and such, the distance between these cabinets, the fridge, the dishwasher. Sometimes you'll have your range over there and so forth. You want to make sure that you have enough room and it's not cramped. I see a lot of homes when I'm out with clients that it's almost a danger zone how tight it is. And this home, maybe because we're on video, you can't tell, but there's pretty good space in here and so forth. But with what we had to work with, I think we made this kitchen better. We also took this wall out. It goes clearer over here where you can see. And there was only just a little single doorway here because these old homes had the dining room off. You know, all these homes had walls that divided everybody. And give me some comments too on that. Do you like when flippers and so forth go and blow walls out, make it an open concept, and basically every room in the main area is open? Do you like that, or do you feel like it ruins your privacy? I'd like to know. Let's see if we have any comments. But yeah, I would like to know your comments on that, because right now with the people I work with, it's kind of mixed reviews. But so anyway, we took that out. Didn't have to really do any structural stuff in this kitchen. Yes, and if you watch my videos on this a while back, I talked about sinks. I'd also like to know, do you like the farm sinks, the 50-50, the 60-40? I know there's all mixed reviews on those. I think we're gonna do, and don't criticize me here, but probably one solid sink here. Unfortunately, I can't do the farm sink the way I like with the apron out here just because of the way the cabinets are. But hey, we have that guy there, the dishwasher. So I know some people's complaints with the farm sinks is washing stuff in there. You know, there's no separation and so forth. But hey, there's the dishwasher. So in my eyes, that's, you know, at least we have that in here. And also in this house, we took out, they always like to do half walls in these older homes. And over here, right here where I'm pointing, you can see where the half wall was. We took that out. And there was also a wall over here. There was actually an old wet bar. I would like to have known the stories back in the day. I wish you guys could have seen it. Anyway, we took the wall out so we could open this up a little more, and we added, my vision's like a little wine area. I like my wine. It's Friday right now. I don't know about you, but I want to get my cab as soon as I'm done with this. But we made that a little area there, like coffee bar, wine bar, whatever you want to do. Oh, and in the kitchen, let's talk about these. I almost forgot the open kitchen concept. I don't do those on my projects. I always do cabinets because everybody always wants storage. In these older homes, they suck for storage. There's nothing. So if you want an open concept and you still want storage, then do these type of cabinets. You'll still have to keep everything organized and clean. But if you do that open kitchen concept, to me, you lose so much space and you have to keep everything clean. And not to say that things up in your cabinets don't get dirty, but it just, to me, I think the open kitchen concept is a short-lived thing. But again, I'm old school, so I'm sure somebody's going to have their opinions on that. Let's see, do we have any chats here? Before I take you through the rest of the house, let's go in the backyard of this place. I already showed you the front. And we have a nice, what we feel is a private yard out here in the Denver area. And again, this sits on 1/3 of an acre. We have a nice big deck here and so forth. And let's see, the one thing when you're looking at these older homes too that you're gonna wanna look at are these electrical panels. This was an older panel, but we were able to make it work still. You can see that it's definitely an older panel. I can't get the door shut, but I'll do that later. You wanna look, because especially if you're buying a home in the 60s, 70s, you're gonna run into electrical panel. If you walk into a house and you see a little tiny electrical panel inside, if it's a Federal, Pacific, Zencor, all that, you're gonna have to replace that if you're flipping the home. I have to always replace those. Inspectors will call them out. And yes, I know the comments are, the house has been there forever, no fires, but trust me, you're gonna have to change it. And depending on your connections out there, that's anywhere from a couple grand to $4,000 to change the panels, at least where I'm at. It all depends on what you all have to move around too, obviously. And obviously if you have an electrician in your pocket or not. Another thing I like to look at when I'm walking through the house outside, again, is the air conditioner. And that one, it's fairly old. We're probably gonna have to get my buddy out here to update that. You can see we did egress windows though, and I'll talk to you about those more when we get inside. But anyway, back to the curb appeal thing. People want a yard. So if you're flipping a house, do the damn yard. I've learned, I can tell you right now, if you cut corners and your yard looks like crap, you're gonna be stuck with that house longer than if you just put in the 20 grand or whatever and do the yard. So keep that in mind. I've learned my lesson on that. Anyway, let's get back to the house here. This is how professional we are. The real time here. I got my paperwork here. I was gonna tell you too as I'm going through it. My numbers on this house, I paid $760,000 for the house. And you can see all the fees here. I think with the title insurance and the escrows, and oh my gosh, how many of you got your sticker shock on your homeowner's insurance? I mean, $3,200 alone for insurance. But again, this is a flip, so I have more of a commercial policy on this. But you have to factor in those numbers when you're buying a house to flip, because if you're given a certain amount, that isn't all you're gonna pay. You have your title insurance, depending on my offers on these properties, I cover a lot of the costs just to make it easy. And if you don't know how to do that, either go to a title company, they'll help you, or get a hold of a good real estate agent that deals in that. And if you need one in your area, I'll post my link or go to my QR code and hit me up. I have professionals all over the country. I can get you with somebody that can help you, but you need to know your numbers. If you watch Shark Tank too, they're gonna tell you the same thing. Know your numbers. All my numbers are right here. And when you go to sell, you gotta understand you have commissions you're gonna have to pay and so forth. And people don't factor in all these numbers. And for me, fortunately, I don't have to pay full commissions as I'm a licensed agent too. But some people do. They have to hire somebody to help them list the house and so forth. So factor in all those costs. If you think you got a good deal, just make sure that you crunched all those numbers. But anyway, I just wanted to cover that with you. Let's continue on. The fireplace, the natural look of things nowadays, some people want like these beams and so forth. I think we're going to keep this house like with the doors and such, more of like earthy tones too. Going to take a gamble because more and more of the earthy tones are coming back. And no, I'm not doing gray vinyl plank flooring in here or flipper gray paint. They already painted these walls. It's not the color I use. I either use Revere Pewter from Sherwin-Williams or Accessible Beige from Sherwin-Williams. These walls are beige, but it's not the color I use. I think it looks okay, but just letting you know that too. So the floor, I'm gonna go with LVP and just put that down here. I know some of you are thinking, what the heck am I doing that for? But anyway, so the feature on this home that's big too is there's a bedroom here that the county records didn't even account for. So we have a bedroom in here and all my paint supplies are in this and it's dark. Again, that's the problem with these older homes is you don't have overhead lighting and such. And I think on one of my polls, I asked you all what you thought were the downside of old homes. And a lot of you mentioned the overhead lighting. I might get my electrician in here to put something in here just so it's more modernized. We have the laundry room that is right out into the 3-car garage. And here's another good thing that is down here. So when your mother-in-law, all the guys out there are cringing, but when she comes to visit, there's a bedroom and there is also, they already tore this out for a shower. So that and all the materials were here. So we just went ahead and went with it. I'm going to get rid of this mirror, but we'll have dual vanities and so forth in here. But this is all on the main level. And I don't know where you're at, but that's a big selling feature out here. People want, they prefer to have main floor master, or I'm sorry, primary. Main floor primary. I'm in real estate and I should know that, but I'm so used to calling it a master bedroom, I'm sorry. So anyway, we are on the upper level. As you can see, there's that open foyer staircase, kind of a hokey looking area how they did this, but it'll make sense when I go into the master bedroom, primary, sorry. Anyway, again, look at these doors. I collect old cars and I love it when I find an old classic car that's just been untouched and in good condition. And I'm telling you, these doors look like they were just purchased at Home Depot. Again, I don't know if I could ever paint those, but I know the consensus is with people, they probably want the white trim and the white doors. So give me some comments out there and help me decide that. Let's see if we got any other comments here. Let's get that. Never mind. Anyway, let's go into the master or primary bathroom, sorry. Again, I don't know, it seems just a little much the way that this is set up with the way the house is, but it has the vaulted ceilings. At least we have some skylights and you can clearly see up there on both of these. And these are things I look for when I'm flipping houses or I'm representing my clients, but you can see where the drywall and such is peeling up around the skylight. So that's going to need repaired. It obviously had a leak at one time. The roof is brand new. The roof's less than 6 months old. So they obviously sealed that back up, or they better have. And so we'll have to do some repairs on that. And I'm going to get rid of these big mirrors here. They left those up. But again, we put the cabinets in and went with the configuration of this room because there really wasn't much to do. There was like a raised level right here. And so we just put a freestanding tub right over here. And again, these people, this is how they started this project before I bought it. Here is the shower, if you're wondering why you don't see it. So it's back here. I would have probably tore this out and opened this wall up to out there and done this different, but they had already started, so I just finished it. They had the materials here and so forth, so I'm just gonna roll with it. But the one thing too in these older homes, the master closets and bed, they're all smaller, and this is the master closet. And I know from showing homes to people, a lot of people would want more closet space. So we changed that. There was a dead area over here. So we cut the wall out and made a closet. So it's not much, but hey, it's more storage. There's still pretty good storage in here. So that was just dead space. So keep that in mind. If you're flipping a house, always be thinking how you can maximize things for not so many dollars. This didn't cost anything except pretty much labor and the cost of the wood to do those shelves. Here's another thing we did that I think helps. We cut this wall, added this door, and put if I can get out there, we put a little deck here that you can come out, I don't want to step on it. They just were finishing up. I think it's a little wet paint on there. We're putting a deck on here. Come out, have your coffee in the mornings on those killer Colorado mornings. So I figured that was a good addition to do. Just with that dead space there, I wanted to maximize stuff, and that didn't cost me a whole lot. Again, all the wood windows in here are nice. Anyway, we'll take you into the other bedrooms, and oh my gosh, here we go again. Look at these doors. I've said it 100 times in this video. These things are so nice. And this didn't have any lighting either. So we have upper lighting in the ceiling, I guess, now to help out. We got some ceiling fans in these other bedrooms. Sometimes I'm hit and miss on ceiling fans. I don't know what you all think. They're give and take, but these happen to be a deal, so we went ahead and did it. Same in this bedroom. Again, look at these doors. Look how perfect. Anybody buy a house that's from the early 80s that you've ever had doors and woodwork that never were scratched? I don't think these people ever had kids. In this bathroom, when I first looked at this house, it's ugly, but this bathroom was never used. I think the house was built in 83. This bathroom was never used. We just kept it so it could be used while we're all doing work here. We're gonna obviously change everything, but that tile is original, and just that tub has never been used. We'll probably just re-glaze that tub. If you're looking to save a little money on maybe your house or a project, if the tub's nice, maybe look at re-glazing it. I can usually get that done for, probably $300, $400 sometimes. It just depends. But that will save you from having to buy a new bathtub and such. So anyway, I just thought that bathroom never had a person in it ever. So anyway, this is the upper level. We have 2 other bedrooms with a master bedroom up here. And then we have the bedroom on the main level. So right now we're at 4 bedrooms. But as I carry on, you'll see how big this house is. This house is almost pushing 4,000 square feet. It's a big house. And if you're flipping homes, that's why I like to stay in the 500 to 700 range out here. And I know that sounds crazy from where you are all at. But those are easier homes to do. And that's where a majority of the people are buying. And they're also not as big. I mean, some people get all excited that they found this huge house, but they don't understand the cost to do them about doubles. I think honestly, this house, if I had to buy everything, some of this stuff was already here. You're going to be pushing a couple $100,000 in materials, in labor. And the reason why I know that, I've flipped a ton of homes. I can just eyeball things anymore, it feels like, and just know what it's going to cost roughly. But it's going to vary area to area. You know, I hear my friends tell me homes in Oklahoma that are under 100,000 or at 100, and I just am like, show me the wiring instructions. And it's probably the same with you hearing me say this home's 700,000 as a project. It's just the way the areas are, and it's crazy. But anyway, let's take you downstairs. Fortunately, they kept the light on there in the hallway, and we took out some things, kind of opened this up to give it a little more room. In these older homes, normally the basements were never finished. We're finishing this basement, and I would have finished anyway, but they had already had the framing done in some areas. So I'll cover what I would not do to help you if you're flipping homes and so forth to make your decision. But anyway, as you can see, it's just been freshly sheetrocked. Well, it doesn't look, this is gonna be like a bonus room, family room kind of area to hang out. And look at that, we even have a safe that comes with the place. You never know what you're gonna get when you're buying a house. So anyway, I guess I maybe scored on that. I'm not moving that. I'll usually stay with the house. So anyway, we're adding a bathroom, and I know people just, whenever I'm helping them look at houses and so forth, think that's a huge expense, and it can be, but all the roughing was already here. And so really, we didn't have much to do except frame it. See if I can handle my technology here. You can see over there where they chiseled the floor away for the shower and so forth. Obviously, the sink will be there. And yeah, we just framed this up. So we're gonna have a bathroom down here, which is gonna help. Probably this looks to me, and again, they had this framed already, so we're just going with what they had. So we're gonna do probably a little like bar area or something for this other room. But here's what I want to show you. A lot of the old homes, when they have bedrooms in the basement, they don't have what's called conforming bedrooms. And if you're a licensed agent like I am, how many times do we use the word, there we go, use non-conforming? And what that is a bedroom without a legal egress window or say a closet. Sorry guys, got new technology here. I'll go this way. So the closet, sorry. So this has a closet and an egress window. So this is a conforming bedroom. And it's a pretty big bedroom. Again, I did this after the fact because they had already started on it. But an egress window, just so you know, if you have to add one, and again, it depends where you're at. This is a good thing to do if you're finishing the basement. And usually a lot of the cities or counties, if you do a bedroom or you're remodeling, you have to do this anyway. But to do an egress window is anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. Again, it depends on your area, who you use, and so forth. But you'll have to do this if you're remodeling a home, and it just helps anyway, because a lot of the new buyers nowadays, they just freak anyway when they go into basements and they see just the little tiny windows. And when they have kids and so forth, this just makes it better. So this is our fifth bedroom in this house, plus the bathroom down here. Now here is what I don't like, and I don't want you to do this if you don't have to. This isn't really gonna justify too much more value, I don't think. But here's another bedroom, and again, they already had this when I bought this. So I'm just finishing it, but this is gonna make this house a 6-bedroom property. And I don't think you get a lot of value with adding 6 bedrooms. Again, though, we have the egress window and so forth, and a closet. And like I said, I would have reconfigured this home down here if it wasn't already framed. But I probably would have made this more open and so forth. But I want to show you something, especially for all you people that live in Colorado. Make sure you understand this. This could be bad, so listen up. But if you see these walls, these are called floating walls. And basically, you put the 2x4 out, you frame it, put it up, mount it up there. But then if you look down here, you can see there's a 2x4 on the floor there, and then there's a gap, and then there's a little nail looking thing, and this portion of the wall floats. So our expansive soils out here, this slab is constructed or poured, or however you want to say it, to move with the soils, because our soils expand. Remember earlier I told you with the downspouts, if people don't keep water away from the home, it's a recipe for disaster. But if you go into a house, especially in Colorado, or if you have expansive soils where you are, and you don't see these floating walls, then you either renegotiate and stand your ground because you're going to have to redo it, or you just walk away. This has been done right, fortunately. So keep that in mind, though, especially in Colorado. I don't know about your other places, but that's a big thing. Anyway, we have the furnace is older, and my good friend is an HVAC guy, so I have a good connection. I'll probably just have him clean that. That's a pretty good furnace. It's a Train furnace, and it's probably 10 years old. And I tell my clients when I'm showing them, and again, they have to go with what they want. But these older furnaces are actually better than the new stuff. I mean, I did my house. I had a furnace from back in the 80s when I was remodeling. Thing ran like a top. And then when I put in a new one, it broke down right away. I mean, these furnaces are good. So if you're flipping a house and you have a somewhat newer furnace, just budget accordingly that you might have to replace that. And for me to replace a furnace, it's $3 to $4 grand at the most. It just depends on the size, obviously, and so forth. We are putting in a new water heater. That one was pretty well shot. So factor in, your mechanicals when you're flipping a house. Water heater's usually about $1,500 installed and everything if you hire somebody. Again, it all depends where you're at. I can get it done cheaper. One of my friends, a plumber, but I'm just trying to give you like real, somewhat close retail numbers, I guess, but I'm sure people will have more to say on that. Speaking of, let's see if we have any comments here. Give me some comments. So yeah, that's the basement. And like I said, there goes my technology again. You don't need to do 6 bedrooms like this property. I wouldn't say that's good ROI or return on investment. So that's this property that I bought to basically start where they finished and so forth. And it's actually harder. You would think you'd be excited that people tore up things, cleaned it out, did some things, had some of the materials, but I have my own way of doing things. So this is, I'll be honest with you, this home's like a first for me, buying it this way, and I've flipped a ton of homes. So we're gonna see how it all shakes out. But I did my calculation on my fees. Again, don't forget to factor in your closing costs when you're buying your house. But some of the things too that I want to stress that you need to get done ahead of time, especially if you're a beginner flipper, and even if you're advanced. I mean, I do this all the time, and I recommend this to everybody, whether you're buying a home for yourself, flipping it, whatever, but get a sewer scope. That is one of the things when I buy a home and when I word in the contract the way I want, all the provisions, I only do it subject to a sewer scope, structural, and roof. Those are the things I look for. I don't do a full home inspection. I'll have to say, if you're buying a house and you're trying to get a good deal, sometimes you're not able to just go and get a full-blown inspection done, which is tough for some people because, let's face it, you don't have the connections, or you haven't done enough to understand what you should look for. But there's homes out there, so find something you can ease into, and if you need a full inspection, but get a sewer scope no matter what. I see people get burned all the time on this, and they just run a camera down the line because it's under the ground. Let's face it, we don't know what's going on. And especially in these older areas, there's a lot of clay pipe, there's cast piping and so forth. And numerous times on the homes I've purchased or helped people with, there's a problem. The trees in the yard, they always seem to be planted right over the sewer line. And it's usually collapsed, or it has a bunch of roots in it. And sometimes you just need to clean it, re-scope it, and it's fine. But there's plenty of times you have to dig up the yard and repair either the whole line or the section. And again, these are negotiating things that you can do with people. Negotiate it into your deal, and make sure you have that quick inspection clause no matter what for the sewer scope. But during that, go to the seller, tell them the problem, and usually you can negotiate it out because the sellers usually have to pay for any of the repairs on the sewer line. But if they don't want to do anything, then you walk away, as long as you have it written up where you can get your earnest money back and so forth. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, walk away, but at least you did the sewer scope. And the same with the roof. I have a roofer in my, that's worked for me for 10 plus years, and he'll just go out, get up on the roof quick, give me whether it's bad or not. And then you have the seller file an insurance claim. With the state properties especially, sometimes that gets a little tough. I want to caution you. They sometimes spend that money on other stuff. Again, because when you're buying an estate property, there's so many other expenses that people have to do, fix up costs, utilities, the mortgage, everything. So they need every dime they can get. So sometimes they'll just take the insurance money and use it somewhere else. So again, make sure you budget accordingly. If you need to do a new roof, and especially if it's the old T-locks, if it has shake shingles, if those are still on there, you can't even get insurance after you go to buy that house. So you got to replace those shake shingles. But the decking could be bad underneath. Those are some things that can come up. And these are things you just want to know going into it so you don't get burnt and lose a bunch of money. And the other thing that I do a lot of out here is foundation repairs. As I told you in the beginning, with the water, keeping it away from the property. So many homes I've purchased had structural issues, and I'm just going to tell you, I like those properties. That's where the deals are. If you have the right person to help you fix those are great deals. But I will say on the ones that aren't structurally is if you have to replumb the whole house. I mean, I've had houses where you get vertigo when you go into them because they're so bad. And you just, where do you start? Where do you stop on those? So I walk away from those homes. I mean, if every window's off kilter, the floor's off center, I've seen the beams in the basements are at 45-degree angles. Those are a little extreme. It has to be a super deal. But find yourself a good structural person. Again, my link I'll post for you. I have connections, at least out in the Colorado area, but I do have people throughout the country too I can try to hook you up with, whether it's a real estate professional, structural company, whatever. But I just want to help you to not get burned. And I'll admit, I'm not a guru going to tell you I've made millions, I got a jet, I got a Lamborghini. No, I've lost money on deals. Hell, I might lose money on this. I don't know. In today's market, I feel like I bought it right. But I'm just being honest with you. And you know what? That's the only way you learn sometimes. Jump in, do it. I started out with a townhouse long time ago. Flip that. The one thing I'll caution you on townhouses, though, is HOA fees, and with those insurances and everything, all the stuff going on with attached properties like condos and townhomes, I'd have to say be careful on those if you're buying those to flip. Yeah, they're a great deal to get you started, but make sure that you do your due diligence on those. Look at the budgets. Look to see if it's FHA approved. I tell people all the time when I'm helping them buy condos and such, if they're not FHA approved, don't buy it. It eliminates a lot of your buyers. I used to do lending for 16 years. I had a mortgage bank and just dealt with all these things. And you just don't want to get into a situation where you can't sell the place because all you can get are cash buyers. So make sure you work with a real estate agent that can show you this and that knows how to read the budgets, and always read the meetings and minutes. And again, I'm getting off course here, but if you're looking at one of those places to flip, those are so important. Those are more important to me usually than the deal I'm getting, because that'll tell me a lot about where I'm going to be on that property, and all that stuff's easy to get. And you can make a decision pretty fast if you should walk away from that deal. So anyway, those can be good starting places for you. But anything I can do to help keep people from getting burnt, I'm happy to do. Anyway, I just wanted to walk you through this flip that we're working on. We'll keep you posted on it all. And let me know if I missed anything, if this wasn't educational or if it was, and help me out here. I'm building my channel. I'm just trying to get out my experiences. I've been in real estate for 30 years. I had a mortgage bank. I sold it in 2014. I owned it for 16 years. I'm a fossil. I have rental properties. I have a storage facility. I flip houses, and I help people buy and sell homes as well. So if you need anything at all, just message me. And also a connection in your area, I'm happy to help. And one other thing before I let you go, if you watch my videos, every deal that I close, I support my rescue dogs out there. And if you are not in the Colorado area, there's plenty of dogs that need good homes. Go get yourself a rescue dog. Also, if you just want to donate to help, I'll put a link in where you can help donate to the cause. And anyway, for those of you that have commented on my rescue dog, Daisy, appreciate that. Just kind of have a little hard time right now. But anyway, we won't get on that. So hope this helped. Hope you found it informational. Subscribe to my channel and help me out. I'd like to get some more subscribers, and also like this video if you liked it. And if you have a problem with it, feel free to comment. You won't hurt my feelings. And anyway, everybody, have a good weekend. And like I said before, over here, I'm going to go get my cab and I'm going to kick back and enjoy the weekend. And I want you all to do the same. Now,